G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and thank you for joining me. Please, before we go any further, hit like and subscribe. Please, it really helps the channel out a lot. Thank you very much. Now, recently, a couple of months ago, I did a video on Marshall and the change of manufacturing for their power transformers in what I think to be a detrimental change to the quality of their amplifiers. Recently though, an article has come out on Marshall on guitar.com from the 5th of March with some interesting insights into Marshall and where they're heading at the moment. Last year, Marshall was bought out by a company called Zound, and that seemingly has, well, I mean, yeah, not much has changed per se in the Australian market of Marshall since that has happened. That's quite reasonable. When another company absorbs another company, a lot of the times things stay the same. Anyway, one of the interesting things in the articles which I really want to point to is the fact that amplifiers are only 5% of Marshall's revenue. And I'm not a fan of that. As Billboard reports, a massive 70% of the Marshall Group's revenue is derived from speaker sales, while 25% comes from headphones. That's interesting in itself because I don't really want a Marshall pair of headphones, weirdly enough. Anyway, with amplifiers accounting for the remaining 5%. And to me, you know, as a kid growing up, listening to punk rock, hair metal, playing guitar, wanting to be, you know, an artist, all Marshall was amplifiers. Like, that's what Marshall is, amplifiers, and they don't sell, or people aren't buying them. And now, you know, obviously, markets and economy throughout the world are always, you know, interesting when it comes to this sort of stuff because in the UK, Marshall amps are relatively cheap, even, you know, high quality ones like the JTM45 reissues, relatively like £1,000. Here you're looking at like about $3,000. Or what I've got here today, my Marshall 1959 HW, here that's $3,500 at the moment. Look, it sounds great. I love the amp. It's my favorite amp. It's the Kemper Profile that I have in my Kemper that I talk about all the time and that I use all the time because Marshalls are amplifiers and they're great and I love them and I love the sound. And yeah, I don't know, I guess, where is Marshall going if amplifiers are not their thing anymore? So it will be interesting to see where Marshall goes from here. I obviously cannot discount the bean counters at Marshall HQ for going into whatever areas in the industry that they want. But I tell you what I want to see from Marshall. I want to see more amplifiers. I want to see more reissues. I want to see new models of old stuff that people love and that are coveted and sought after. And I want to see them brought back. I don't care if they're PCBs. I don't care if they're hand wired. I just want to see Marshall making amplifiers that are within its heritage. And yes, you know, you can still get, you know, a Silver Jubilee reissue, JTM45 reissue, this one reissue, but, and then, you know, the 1987X. But I want to see Marshall just put more R&D, put more money into that, because I'm a Marshall guy. I'll probably forever be a Marshall guy. But it just feels like such a small number of their revenue comes from amplifiers, which is what I've always known Marshall to be and what I always want them to be. All I'm trying to say is here, I love Marshall. I love Marshall amps. And I think, if the company decided to put more R&D and more money into amplifiers, it could actually maybe even start a rebirth of Marshall and bring Marshall into a modern era, but still celebrate some of the amazing, awesome amps that they had before I was born. Anyway, thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Again, please hit like and subscribe if you feel inclined. Leave a comment. What do you want to see from Marshall as they enter this new era? I'd love to have a chat about it. I'll see you on the next video.